Hello guys, this is Daniel and we continue with our blockchain programming with Python. Last week we touched upon the Web3 library from Python, which is a very nice tool to do some Ethereum development with Python. But if you want to actually do something more serious and if you want to actually have a robust framework to build your dApps, then you will need exactly that. You will need a framework, and that framework is Brownie. We are going to talk about Brownie this week. We are going to start by going over how to install Brownie and how to link Brownie with your local Ganache environment. And we are going to also be deploying our smart contracts using Brownie, and for that we are not going to be cheating using the compiler that comes with Remix. We are going to do everything natively in Python. Then we're going to start interacting with our smart contracts. And in the last two sessions, we are going to be testing our smart contracts and doing some testing in Brownie, which is kind of the main functionality that Brownie offers us, that it's superior as using just Web3 as we were doing in the last series, and also offers a lot more robustness in the area of testing for those that are familiar with Python like myself more than we are with JavaScript. So let's start. So we're going to do pip install eth Brownie. I already installed it in this virtual environment that we already have loaded here, so I'm not going to do a lot here. It's just going to tell me the pip. It's just going to tell me that everything is satisfied, and it's not going to do anything. So that's it. Now that you have Brownie installed, we're going to do Brownie init guess number. And init is the command that allows you to initialize a new Brownie project. There is another interesting command, which is Brownie bake, which brings an scaffolding with a lot more code that is pre-built for some specific purposes. For example, Chainlink has a recipe. They call it recipe for baking. So there's a lot of tools that Brownie gives in that regard. But we're going to start with a blank project right now. So we're going to do Brownie init, and we're going to do guess number. So now that we have this one initialized, we are going to check what are the folders that were created. So we have build, contract, interfaces, reports, scripts, and test. In this week, we are going to be mostly working with contracts and scripts and a little bit of testing at the end. The build is an internal folder which is used by Brownie just to put our compiled contracts, and the interfaces are interfaces to the API of the contract. So we are not going to be working around with those folders a lot. And reports is when you're using the Brownie UI, which is something that we're not doing as well in this series. So mostly we're going to be working with contracts, scripts, and test. So right now we have that, right? But we need to connect, and this is the main point of our video today, is to be able to connect our Brownie with Ganache. And right now our Ganache environment is here. As you can see, we have this account with a 110 ETH and this one with 90. And let's go back. So if we try to run the Brownie console here, which is where we interact with Brownie most of the time, it's going to give us a weird mistake here. And it's asking us for the Ganache CLI. And the reason it's asking for that is because we have not configured our proper Ganache UI, which is the one that we have installed here, with Brownie. Brownie out of the box is integrated with the Ganache CLI, which you have to install by yourself by using Node.js package manager npm, and that makes it available for you. But we are going to be using the one that has the UI, so that one is a little bit different. We are going to integrate with that one. So what we need to do is add a network, and for that let's check what are the networks that are available here. And as you can see here, we have a local network here. This is the main one that it's asking for, the ganache-cli, but we have our local here. And that one doesn't come with Brownie out of the box. That one we have to add by ourselves. And we do it by running this command that I'm going to paste here. I'm going to explain it right away. So we have Brownie networks add development, that's the classification of the network, local is the name or the ID that we're given to the network, and the host. Then we're going to write something here that's just cmd equal ganache. That one is actually not doing a lot. After you input that command that we just copied and pasted here, then when you do Brownie networks list, you are going to see that network added here as it is appearing to me right now. So that's the way you add your network, but we still need to do something else, and we need to add a little bit of a configuration file to tell Brownie that our default network is not going to be the one that it asks by default, but that we are going to use our local network. So for that, we're going to do a touch, and we're going to do a guest number, and we're going to do the Brownie config. Oh, this is a dash config that YAML. Once we have that file here, we are going to do networks, and we're going to do default, and we're going to do local, and that's it. We are just going to go to our main folder here, guest number, and then we are going to try again to run the Brownie console. So we're going to do again Brownie console, and right now the Brownie console run, and we are running in our local network here, our local Ganache. Now we're going to do networks, accounts, and we're going to check that we are in the right network. So here we have 71D1 as the first account in the network, and we go to our Ganache to confirm, and yeah, as you can see, this is the right account, so we are actually connected to this Ganache network. Now we are going to do a little bit more. We're going to just do the last part of this video for today, which is to transfer some amount of ETH using Brownie. So we are going to do accounts, and we mention the account by the index, so we are going to do account 1 because that's the one that has 110 right now, and we want to balance everything. So we go transfer, and then we go account 0, which is the one that has 90, and then we go 10 ether. We close our parentheses, and we execute our transfer. We get the hash back, and let's exit here, clear, and then let's go to our Ganache environment, and we check that effectively everything returned to be 100. Today we learn how to install Brownie and how to change the default network in order we can use our visual Ganache, not the ganache-cli, and that save us as well the need to install Node.js and npm. And then in the following videos in the series, we are going to be deploying our own smart contracts using Brownie, and we're going to be interacting also with our smart contracts by deploying some scripts also that we are going to write, and we're going to leverage Brownie to run it. So thank you very much, guys, and smash that like and follow the Morales channel.